Good day, ladies and gentlemen. No, yeah, last one, ladies. First of all, Steve, this with the C grade is excellent. I've long thought that C grade is the most underrated meat in South Africa. In America, they actually have what they call dairy beef. It comes from old dairy cows. And strangely enough, the quality of some of that beef is outstanding. And I don't know if you noticed the marbling, that's those white streaks in the carpaccio. That is actually what gives it flavor and tenderness. So yeah, most of our C-grade beef in this country has been going to the mines and those sort of places, and into mince and things like that, especially for Woolworths. But in all honesty, it gives colour and it's got a lot of flavour if it's properly looked after. So please, C-grade meat, you struggle to find it sometimes. The high-class shops over here in the northern suburbs don't normally have it. But the quality and the flavour of decent C-grade beef is outstanding. It knocks the hell out of supers. Really it does, in all honesty, when it comes to flavour. Not as tender maybe, but the flavour is there, and that's what we actually want. Right, getting on to the Braunvieh, one of the more interesting breeds in South Africa, not one of the biggest breeds in the country, but it is indeed a breed that's been around for a long time. They've actually traced the lineage of the breed back to 800 BC. Now that's a hell of a lot longer than me. I think in 800 BC I was probably still hanging from a tree or something like that. But yeah, it is one of the old breeds, and it comes from Switzerland. And most of you have seen those old chocolate boxes and things like that. Those cattle with the big bells, most of those were actually Braunvieh. If you look at the colour, you'll see it's got a slightly strange dun colour, but it is a very, very attractive breed. It's a very good breed in this country. It's a very tough breed. They were first imported into South Africa by the government to actually breed and to improve breeds in cattle in the very, very cold areas. So we've got Braunvieh cattle in places like Berkeley West, Berkeley East, right there in the mountains, just beside the Transkei, right there. We've got cattle there, but we also have guys breeding these cattle in Vryburg, and you don't get much hotter than Vryburg. So they are very, very good, adaptable cattle. They can walk well. They're very good for upgrading other breeds. So from that point of view, it's one of the breeds which a person would like to see. They're slightly later maturing. Some of the meat is inclined to be maybe a little bit coarser of graying than the Angus, but when it comes to quality, they are very, very good cattle. They put a lot of bone and a lot of constitution into the smaller cattle. So from that point of view, it's a very, very useful breed. And good flavour, tough cattle, good temperament. And that's what we want. We don't want an animal that's going to, when you walk into the kraal, it's going to try to eat you, which we have enough of the Brahmin, in all honesty. The Brahmin guy will say, yeah, my haste is badav. You might be badav, but the point is they're still going to kill you. And that's bad news. Because your insurance guy doesn't like it very much. Good marbling. It's found all over the world. And it's one of the breeds which I like to see a lot more because of their toughness. Unfortunately, the colour is not exactly what this country likes, because we are rooibeeste in this country, unfortunately. But they are very, very good cattle. So if you were to go into breeding, there are other breeds you could look at, but this one won't be the worst breed you could actually ever look at, in all honesty. It's a good breed. I'll be judging them again next year at Vryburg, and I talk from a completely objective viewpoint, because I don't own any cattle at all. They are one of my favourite cattle breeds. All right. Are there any questions?
Are they pole breeds?
No, they're not a pole breed, unfortunately. Which, in my opinion, would actually really be the cherry on the top. Because to dehorn cattle it's a smelly business, and it's actually quite painful also. So if they were polled cattle, it would actually just add the cherry on the top to this breed. But a good question there, Steve.
And what does pole mean, Steve?
Pole means born with no horns.
Born with no horns.
Because horns are inclined to hurt people. There are some more of these. I don't know if anybody would like a yard blot, one of these over there. There are a few more at the back there. So you're welcome to please to take them home with you.
Did you ask you the fact that if you compare Charolais, which is
Nice muscling, but not a lot of marble in that beef. Braunvieh?
Braunvieh?
Is it Braunvieh or Braunvieh? How do you say it?
Braunvieh. I don't know. I'm not.
Braunvieh.
It actually came from the old, what we used to call the brown Swiss. Then the brown Swiss split, because it's a dual purpose breed. The brown Swiss became the dairy part, and the Braunvieh became the beef part. So Steve, to come back to your question, yes, they are also late maturing. They haven't got as much muscle as the Charolais.
Yeah.
They're also late maturing breed, and they've still got the same good beef quality. They'll probably fatten a little bit faster than a Charolais, but they will have better marbling, and that marbling will come from the fact that they're a very, very long-lived breed. You can have cows with 15 years old still having calves, and with age comes the marbling, as we well know.
And how they for birthing?
Small calves, they're very wide cattle, so they've got a very, very wide between the pin bones, and that's where the calf comes out, so they don't really have a problem with the calving problem.
And you said they have a nice temperament.
They've got a very good temperament, these cattle, and they walk well. They've got what we call, they've got black hooves. Now, strangely enough, you won't believe it, if an animal's got like a light-coloured hoof, almost like a honey-coloured hoof, they're inclined to be soft, whereas a black hoof is as hard as hell. So they will walk well, and they've got good feet and legs. And you want an animal that can walk. If your animal can't walk, you can do nothing with it. They're also, strange enough, in Namibia, they've got more and better Braunvieh than we've got in this country. So they are very, very good cattle, indeed. And Steve has often heard me say that there's more variation within a breed than between breeds. And Steve, there's a quote for your newsletter.
I'm using it now.
All right. There's more variation within the breed than between breeds. So you will get very good Braunvieh and Braunvieh that are less good. But in general, they're damn good cattle. All right.
Thank you, Jan.